Hi there, welcome to the second session. In this session I'm going to give you an overview of the top-up course and then going to talk a lot about the concept of masterliness. So we're going to talk about the structure of the top-up MBA and then go through what we mean by the concept of masterliness. And because this is, as master's students, it's important to explore the difference between working at undergraduate level and now working at master's level. So a master's course consists of 180 credits in total, and those have to be completed before the award of MSc can be given or MBA can be given. Because you've got prior qualification, it means that 120 credits of this course can be recognised as already being completed through a process called Accreditation of Prior Learning or Experience, or APEL for short. The remaining 60 credits that you have to study are made up as follows. There's 20 taught credits, which is the research methods module. There's a 40 credit independent research, which is the management project module. Students are required to successfully complete the research methods module before they're allowed to progress onto the management project. In completing the management project, students will be assigned a project supervisor to guide them through the management project. You have an idea of timelines, how long these things should take. So the research methods module should take 12 weeks to complete. The management project should take up to 9 months to complete. So for the management project, there are 2 submission points each year. They are the 30th of April and the 30th of September. They are standard submission points for research projects in the business school. So students who submit the management project in April should therefore graduate in July, and students who submit the management project in September should then graduate in December. Okay, now move on to the concept of masterliness. And things we're going to look at in this conversation is how it differs from graduateness, so the qualities and skills that a bachelor's graduate should have, what differentiates a master's degree from a bachelor's degree, what additional knowledge, skills and abilities should a master's graduate have, and the nature of work. So who do you think should work harder, a bachelor's student or a master's student? Why that is. So to start off, to get some answers, we'll look at some dictionary definitions. So, and also look at the Quality Assurance Agency frameworks. That's the guidance that we use to inform our qualifications, and we have to fit within these frameworks to award degrees. So dictionary definition talks about being masterly, showing great skill or being very accomplished. In the context of his master account of rural France. So it was detailing great knowledge and, in this case, of having a lot of knowledge about rural France. The National Qualifications Framework gives a bit more detail. So it says master's degrees are awarded to students who have demonstrated a systematic understanding of knowledge and the critical awareness of current problems and/or new insights, much of which is at or informed by the forefront of academic discipline, field of study, or area of professional practice. It's a comprehensive understanding of techniques applicable to their own research or advanced scholarship, originality in the application of knowledge together with a practical understanding of established techniques of research and inquiry are used to create and interpret knowledge in the discipline. The conceptual understanding that enables students to evaluate critically current research and advanced scholarship in a discipline and to evaluate methodologies and to develop critiques of them where appropriate to propose new hypotheses. There's quite a lot in that statement. I want to pick out the fact, a couple of facts from it. So it's systematic understanding of knowledge. So there is a way of understanding knowledge, and the methods we'll talk through in research methods and the mentoring you'll get in your research project will allow you to develop this systematic approach. In the research methods in particular, we'll talk about different techniques to generate new knowledge about scientific discovery, to learn new things about your area of study, and you will apply these in original ways. So you'll ask questions that have never really been asked before. And a master's qualification, it's not just about what you learn just now, it's about how you move these skills onto space beyond academia and develop lifelong learning. Because whilst this emphasises you're taught at the leading edge is on the leading edge now. It's important you're able to always understand what your leading edge is in your subject area. So typically holders of a qualification will be able to deal with complex issues both systematically and creatively, make sound judgments in the absence of complete data, and communicate their conclusions clearly to specialist and non-specialist audiences. They should demonstrate self-direction and originality in tackling and solving problems, act autonomously in planning and implementing tasks at professional equivalent level, and continue to advance their knowledge and understanding, how to develop new skills at a high level. Because of all this, the Master's graduate will have qualities and transferable skills necessary for employment, requiring the exercise of initiative and personal responsibility, decision-making in complex and unpredictable situations, and independent learning ability required for continuing professional development. So there's an awful lot expected of a Master's students. We will absolutely give you the tools to help you do the job, but there's a large emphasis on self-direction, on autonomy. So the learning experience you get is very much directed by the efforts that you put into this and how much you want to get out of it. So to summarise the elements of a Master's course, is absolute advanced study. There's more depth and it's at the leading edge compared to a bachelor's qualification, which tends to introduce you to concepts and give you the fundamentals of the subject, particularly the low levels gaining technical knowledge. This advanced study is more about understanding where your subject fits into the wider area of management. It's about developing professional skills, preparation for professional practice. So absolutely some of the skills you'll pick up can be transferred into the workplace. Aside from the softer skills of interpersonal development, communication skills, organisation, it's also about how systematically understand knowledge in the macro environment and apply that to the workplace. It's about developing the ability to apply knowledge and understanding in complex issues, enhancement of skills for self-direction, independent learning and work and originality. There's additional emphasis on team and group working and really being able to discern who your major stakeholders are with regard to the way you operate. Developing leadership and or management skills, critical awareness of current issues, as well as capitalising on current and prior experiences. Now obviously, because you've already got a qualification at master's level, you've touched on these already, and the purpose of this course is just to top up these qualifications to make a full master's course. As a master's student, you develop greater capacities for independent action, accepting responsibilities for the conclusions that you've reached. You'll formulate ideas proactively, so you'll be looking to solve problems, you'll be planning and developing strategies, implementing and executing agreed plans, you'll be leading and managing teams where required, evaluating achievement against specification and plan, and decision making. And particularly with the independent research project, you will create that plan yourself, you will create that specification, and you will conduct research according to it. How we assess master's courses. So there's an increased working, obviously as online learners and having already studied 120 credits of the course already. That's not so applicable to yourselves. The nature of your work whilst is able to collaborate online is very much down to the individual. We reflect on students' knowledge, experience and practice, particularly through the process of peer interaction, and look to participants being able to modify and develop their own and others' business practices. And that's absolutely one of the key takeaway learnings from completing an MBA. So there's two aspects of studying at level 7. We've talked a bit about the practicalities around increase in knowledge. Along with this, there is advanced academic training. So it's about the ability to compare, contrast and critique the work of other academics, the synthesis of theory and the practical application, the appreciation of the complexities of a subject and ability to discuss these through a variety of lenses, and advanced writing. We will talk through these as we go through the research methods course, and you'll develop these skills in completing the MBA. So to summarise then, the Masters is even harder work than a bachelor's degree. You're going to practice skills up to professional levels. You have to think outside the box. So there's a need for originality and interpreting what the existing knowledge. You'll have an advanced knowledge and understanding. Absolutely, you will be expected to understand the conversation in your subject area at the leading edge. You have to accept responsibility for your learning, and there's an emphasis on independence and independent study. The material provided will give you a framework. It's by no means an exhaustive list. It's up to yourselves then to direct your study to develop yourself. The next lecture is an introduction to the Blackboard environment, which is our virtual learning environment. Thank you.